On this week's episode, we are going to speak with JJ. He is an international speaker. He's spoken in more than 30 countries over the last 15 years. And in 2009, he leveraged the social media platform YouTube to organically grow his channel to more than 57 million views online. And other than coaching clients to get to the next level, Jay has also had a PR and social media agency. He helps clients get influence and attention to get themselves seen and heard. You're in for a treat. We go into a lot of detail about how to use things like Instagram and Clubhouse and YouTube, all the things that he's done in his career to get to where he is now. And so you're going to want to listen to this. You're going to take some good tips and tools and tactics that you can use in your own business to help you build your brand and bottom line. Before we do that, I want to go over my marketing essentials moment. We are talking about empathizing with your target audience and the importance of empathizing with them, stepping into their shoes for a moment, thinking like them, hearing, saying, doing. What are the things that they are influenced? How are they getting their information? Where are they going? Who are the influencers of them, right? And thinking about how you can get your message in front of them best and the ways that you would then resonate with them more. So when you are thinking about your strategic plan and how you're putting your marketing planning, all of the things together that you normally would do, take a moment to do an empathy map. Write out all the things that you think your potential client is saying and hearing and doing and seeing and feeling, and just really understand their persona of who they are, their avatar, whatever you want to call it, the story of this person that is your most ideal client, who you want to walk through your doors or click on your website or whatever it is that you capture your clients through, or your donors, or your, anybody that you want to have be a part of your brand. So that's the marketing essential moment. And before we get to the podcast, I have one more thing to tell you all about, and that is the Stash app. It's a banking app for saving and investing, and you can buy stocks and trade stocks on it. You can try it with my link. Go to peppershock.com/offers, add some cash, and you'll get $20 of a stock, and we'll both get a bonus as well. So the Stash app is investing for real people. So go to peppershock.com/offers and get your link to get $20 of stock from Stash. All right, without further ado, let's talk to Jay.
Welcome to Peppershock Media's Marketing Expedition podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in marketing and advertising. Now here's your host, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today we have Jay with Ace of Spades Agency. Jay, welcome to the show.
What's up, Ray and the people listening? It's an Australian accent. Let's clear that up, firstly. Is it British? Is it Kiwi? Is it Australian? But listen, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited to give everybody listening some energy, some excitement, and some education that they can take from today. Ray, the thing what I don't like, Ray, when I go to these seminars or I listen to podcasts, you feel great. Then what happens 3 days later? You're in the same position as you were before. Yes. That's not the goal here. So I really would love to share my story and really give people some tangible stuff that they can implement today, whether they've just started or they've been in the game for 20 years.
I love that, Jay. And that's why I wanted you to come to this show and share and tell us. Right. So let's do that. Let's start with your journey. Tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, look, 16 years ago, I'm 32 now. I live in Los Angeles from Australia. I wanted to do two things: stand on stage and tell people what I do. So 16 years later, I've spoken in 30 countries, and I did everything from an actor to a magician to a TV host to a speaker. But throughout that time, I always leveraged social media and the power of influence to get me into doors, to get the attention of people. And then when Corona happened, I lost everything. All my contracts, all my cash flow, all my confidence. And I had to really make a decision and go, well, what do I know? Who can I help? And how can I talk about what I've done for so long? And I just, like anything, it was tough, but I figured out, I think I can really help people leverage their social media and teach them how to get attention in the marketplace. Because Ray, as you know, marketing, it's not the best product, it's the best marketed, it's the best promoted, it's the best one seen.
Absolutely.
And I realized that when I would get opportunities compared to other people, me looking at other people going, I'm not better than these guys, but I was the most advertised. I was the most being spoken about. I was the most getting put into publications in the press. So I got chosen. So once I understood that and allowed my ego to be okay with, it's not about talent, it's not about the best service, and it's more about the marketing, I really dived in and helped professionals and entrepreneurs and companies get seen.
Excellent. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Share a story or two of some things that you've been able to help people do during this time, right? And all of what we're going through right now.
Yeah, well, the big thing for me when I always work with new clients, okay, hey, what's the why here? And I don't like to go too hoo-ha, but it's more like, hey, what's our end goal? And the more that you can find out what the client's end goal is the faster I know if I can actually help them or not. And like, I'm sure we've all done this, and people probably nodding their head, agreeing with me, going, when you take on a client, you go, I do it all. Copywriting, I do it. SEO, I do it, because you want the client, right? And then you're sitting there Tuesday night, 10:30 at night, thinking you can do something and going, I actually don't know how to do this. Or, I think I've taken on too much more I can handle. And that's also because I didn't ask the client at the beginning, before we started our relationship together, what do they want or what do they think they need? So when I realized that, I realized I could work backwards and really get people to understand what I do best for them, which is getting people to have the attention, right? And have the influence. Mm-hmm. And to give some context of what influence is, when I first came to America, first place I came to was Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm walking down the street, and the people I was just like, what do you want, Jay, like for dinner? I said, I want pizza. So on the left side of me, there's a pizza restaurant, right? 5 people inside. The other side, 50 people inside. Which one did I choose?
Probably the one with more people. I mean, it seems like.
Great. Right. Now, why did I choose that one? Was it because the pizza was better? No, I didn't know. I didn't know it taste. Was the service better? No. Was the decor better? No. It's because there were more people. They had more influence, and that skewed my attention and my cash to go and eat with them. Now, the food was great, and people were having a good time, but I didn't know that. And then I started to realize that's the same thing with your brand. How many people are saying good things about you? How many articles are they reading about you? How many followers and likes and quality of content do you have? And that's more important than everything at the moment, because people make quick decisions on what you look like, what you do, how you help them straight away. So if you don't have that influence straight away, they're more likely to work with someone else.
Right. And you've built up some of your own brand and influence too. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've done for yourself to get that built up so much. Tell us.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer of I like to sell what I've done, not sell what I think I've done, right?
Yeah.
And I know that not every basketball coach has slam dunked in their life. I do know that. But would you rather work with a fit, 6-pack ripped personal trainer or a very overweight personal trainer, right? Now, I'm not saying they can't get it done, but just generally. So the same thing when I was selling companies, like, why are they going to believe me? Well, I've spoken in 30 countries. I work with the billion-dollar companies, talking to them about social. I have 57 million views on YouTube myself, right? I'm in the media. I do what I say. Mm-hmm. So when I went to companies though, and people, I went, well, could I help people that are completely opposite than me? It's easier said for me. I'm a guy with a lot of energy, Australian. I'm a young chap, as some lady called me one day. You're a young chap. So I was like, okay, cool. I take on that objection. Could I help someone that's completely, opposite of me in a space that's not sexy, that's not entertainment, that's not PR? And I did. And I actually helped them 10 times faster because their industry was not a glamour industry. So all they had to do was implement the same things that I've learned for the last 15 years in a shorter space of time, and they get clients, they get cash flow.
And you're utilizing all of the different socials, or do you focus on one in particular?
Yeah, so my specialty is more so Instagram at the moment because there's a lot more play with that. I find, 80% of businesses are using Instagram to promote. So for me, that's where I come alive. I know Facebook groups are very powerful. I know that LinkedIn has its way. I just know that from the conversations I'm having for the people I'm working with, no one's saying what's your LinkedIn, and they're saying what's your Instagram.
Right. Yeah, what's your Instagram handle? And that's true. I've seen a huge uptick in direct messages lately, and just people, kind of having some conversations in group chats within Instagram. And, there is a lot more activity, it seems like. And Instagram seems, with the swipe feature and the ability to have the ads that you can put on there, it seems like it's getting more play. Is that right?
Yeah, and obviously Instagram is, Facebook's, what big brother, right? So they all own each other. So I think there's a lot of capabilities with that platform of Instagram, because also it's quite focused on when you're on someone's Instagram page, there's not anything else distracting you. You're on their, I call it, you're in their nightclub. You're in their place. The only way to get out is you have to swipe back and get out. Like YouTube, you do one video, this video is popping up, there's video down here. LinkedIn, same thing. It's really messy. Facebook, there's a lot of stuff going on. So from an attention-driven app, I just like Instagram because it's it's a great way to visually showcase who you are as well.
Right. Yeah. And it's instant mostly. I mean, you can still schedule things, but the idea is it's instant and in the moment of things that are happening in that moment that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Give some examples of maybe some types of content or, copy or things that you've done that have seemed to resonate quite well and, get that traction or engagement that people need on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, like for the people listening right now, I know one of the big problems you guys have is like, we don't know how much to post or when to post or what to post.
Right. Yeah.
My half of my pitch to clients is like, let me take the stress out of social media for you. Mm-hmm. Let me help you do what you do best. For most people, it's content because they are their product or they're speaking about their product, and conversations around their content. Mm-hmm. You're the best salesman, right?
Yeah.
Or you know your product better than anybody else, most people, right? So let me give everybody a couple of moves just to be able to take some of the stress off and tell you the actual truth, not the Hollywood answer, Ray. Right. There's too much of this Hollywood answer. Just do reels and you'll win. No. That's not it. Just post every day at 9 a.m. and you'll win. No, this is how easy it is. Okay. So I recommend 2 to 3 pieces of content a week. Mm-hmm. And before you go crazy and go, oh my gosh, it's so much, just take a breath. Let me tell you what you need to do. First thing you want to do is you want to be an expert in your space. So when someone comes to your page, what makes you different than everybody else? Well, they want to see you as an expert. So let's say we will look at this dentist, right? And every week I tell him to come on his Instagram and give a piece of educational advice about being a dentist or when to go get your dentist. How often should you be flossing your teeth? The most simplest things are the best things for people to be able to use. So an educational tip, that's really important. It doesn't have to be a video. Videos help because it's really a great way to get across your brand and personality. It could be a quote. It could be a text message and you take a screenshot, but education. Second thing you want to do as a result, Ray, you are successful because also people tell you that you're successful too. People want to see that you are not just talking from yourself. So a screenshot, a video testimonial, a picture of like, oh my gosh, Ray, it was so great chatting with you. You helped me out so much. That alone is powerful. Be like, oh wow, okay, she's helping. I want to be helped too. So right. Testimonial. Number 3, personal brand. People don't just want to have some kind of Instagram page or social media where it's like buy, product. Bring them into your world. So it doesn't you don't have to reveal your most scariest or darkest secrets, but talk about a time when you started your business and how you failed. Talk about a time how, we have a lady that she's a plastic surgeon. She got married to 3 different dudes and she spoke about how she thought every time was the right dude. But like, that was such an opening and revealing thing but she made it playful. And guess what? People connected with her, right? And then alongside, she got more clients because of that. Because people said, you know what? I was married 3 times. Can you help me out? But the point of the story is sharing a little bit about your personal life and revealing brings people in. So they're like 3 pieces of content: education, result-driven stuff, and personal brand photo. That's a great way to start it. And when to post and what to post, it's not overly as important. In the mornings is always better, right? But the algorithms now, it's really hard for people to see your work. So I would start being more consistent than worrying about the hashtags and the captions and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, I think that there's something to be said about posting a few times a week or posting not at all. I mean, it's better to post not at all if you're not going to ever do it, right? I mean, you got to be consistent and continue to do it and check out what works and what doesn't work, right? And continue that. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to share too, Ray, is like, remember, my opinion is just my opinion. I may be more of an expert than you, but this is just what's working for me. Ray, as you mentioned, maybe that's not your move. Once again, coming back to that why of what are you using social media for? Right. And you have to be really honest with yourself. Like, we spoke briefly about Clubhouse before, but a lot of people on Clubhouse, they're saying to give value or this. No, you don't give out to give out. You're there to get customers. Let's not lie, but you want to share and build, but don't just want to give value. No, I'm out on Instagram to tell people what I do, how I do it, and who I can help. Now, how do I go about doing that? There's different strategies. So it's like, as you mentioned, Ray, finding out what's going to work for you and also being able to consistently do that. That's the other thing that a lot of people forget. You need to, like, consistency still is this kind of aloof thing that people forget. Oh, that's right, consistency of content, but no one wants to do it sometimes,
Right. So let's back up a little bit. Tell me what brought you from Australia to, where did you say, Minneapolis, Minnesota? Is that where you first came?
Well, let's say America. Yeah. But I missed 10 years. I was living in Asia for a long time. Anyone that's Australian listening, I love our down to earth culture, but we're not a very success driven country. And what I mean by that is we don't get told to Americans, go for your dreams. You can do it. You can make it, and whilst there's some other issues in America, right, of course, I do like the feeling of the American dream. You can come here and create it. And that's why I came to America, because, when I was living in Asia, it's great. Singapore, Hong Kong, there's movement, there's money, but I didn't speak the language. And I wanted to come to a country where I had full opportunities and full power to just do whatever I wanted to do.
That's great. I'm glad that you found your way here to where you are now. And so let's talk a little bit about kind of moving forward into the future. Where do you see yourself in 2-5 years from now? Like, what is success to you?
For me, I used to coach these young entrepreneurs, and I changed the word success to winning, right?
Yeah.
It resonates so much better for me because, and success is very subjective, right? A mother can be successful. She wakes up every day. She has 2 gorgeous children. She gets to feed them. She gets to go on trips with them. That's success. To other people, it's money. To other people, it's, and for me, winning is doing what I want whenever I want and however I want to do that. Like, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? Right? So to your question, having the ability to still travel the world as a speaker, I love speaking. I'm never going to not get into speaking. I just really think my purpose here is helping people get to the next level with who they are. And I know that's very quite broad, but where I come uniquely into this is building their personal brand. So for the people out there that have usually sold their company, or they've got their company making the money, they're looking for now that new legacy. Hey, I want to inspire. I want to write a book. I want to tell the world what I've achieved and how I can help others. I'm the guy for them.
Wow, that's Good. So just to give people an understanding, 57 million views on your YouTube channel. What kind of what were you what kind of things did you put out there? Like, how did you grow that? What happened and how did you make it go?
Yeah, great question. So I was a magician for 10 years, So back in the day, YouTube, this is 2009, YouTube was just coming out. It was like open, it started 2006. The first 2 years, it was sort of just like viral driven content because no one really knew if there was just going to be a platform to take off. Mm-hmm. A mentor of mine said, hey, have you ever thought of using YouTube to showcase your work? And I was like, yeah, I need to like get gigs. I need to get bookings, right? So he said to me, why don't you teach someone magic? Everyone wants to learn a magic trick. And I was like, okay. So I started teaching magic tricks and I stayed consistent. I did, 2 to 3 videos a week for 5 years, 7 years straight. And that's how we built it, Uh-huh. So that's the very Hollywood answer. But, what I've taken from it now is I found something that made me come alive, right? Because I know that some people may not believe this. I believe if you don't have some kind of enjoyment, how are you going to push through the times? I just I couldn't see myself doing something I hated for 10 years. I just wouldn't, I wouldn't last. So finding something that made me come alive, staying consistent to the moves that I felt that I could do. So like I was being me, right? And then listening to that tribe, listening to that audience, talking to them. And at the time there was no Instagram. So it was like, hey guys, next week we're going to look at all these comments next week. So people would come back. So that's how I built it.
Nice. Now, do you still practice your magic? Do you still do some of that? No.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. You know what? It was. Yeah, it's it's like people that like the entrepreneurs listening or the people listening to you. Those times in life where you do something and you hit success in your own mind and you were like, that's it, done. So that was it. I put the book on the shelf and it's there. Next.
Yep. And it built you to where you are now. I love it.
Yeah.
And so when you work with other clients that you have, as far as, helping them grow and do all of the things that we've talked about, as far as, building their audience, building their influence, what are some moments that come and stand out to you that you're super proud of that has made your work that you do enjoyable for you?
Yeah, when people start to implement videos, and a lot of people aren't TV hosts and video people like me, the moment they allow themselves to get through that block of no one would listen, I'm not important, I'm not good on camera, and they press the button, and that first video, when they put it on Instagram, and the amount of love from people that never spoken to them before, that is gold. Right. That is validating me, validates them, and people cry. Not just women, men, guys that I've got this guy's, money isn't an issue. Let me just tell you that, Mr. Yeah. 9-10 figures. Yes. He shared what he really made him come alive, and people that in his company who would always see him as high value and a little bit standoffish, because he revealed, the amount of love and pouring that came from that video was amazing. So the ability to see that people can get traction with who they are and they don't have to be this kind of person they think they have to be. It's very simple. They just need to be coachable and they need to take action.
Let's describe a little bit the different things that you can do on Instagram. There's the Reels, there's Instagram TV, there's posting, and you can have short videos. Share a little bit about the different tactics for each of the things that you can do within Instagram's features, if you will.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, okay, remember Instagram is like a website a little bit, right? What you can do with a website. So the first thing people need to see is obviously you need to have your feed, and the feed is the things that people see on the front page, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously you want to have a little bit of understanding of like telling the world what you do and who you are. So having some photos, having some videos. IGTV is great. IGTV is longer form videos. So, if you have a bunch of those videos, could be doing an interview with like us, what we're doing. It could be of you, a behind the scenes video, or it could be you, let's say you're a seamstress. It could be, hey guys, I want to take you on a journey of me going and getting the cotton to make this shirt, for example. Reels are great. Reels are going to be the fastest way to get attraction to your brand organically, because it's just a popular thing Instagram's rolling out. Obviously it's quick. You know how Reels work, right? Like it's just quick clips, of, you talking about, or you're doing what you do best. Instagram TV, Reels, your main feed, and stories.
Right.
Stories are super, super important because it's current, it's daily, and you really can take people along a journey with you, and you don't have to, it's so easy to produce. You press a button, you speak, you let it go, it's done. You don't have to edit. You don't have to tweak anything. And if you have over 10,000 followers, it's a great way to start building an audience, because it's better than doing an IGTV. It's better than doing a reel. It's better than doing a feed post, because you're instantly talking with your audience.
And do you do a lot with advertising on Instagram and like the swipe ups and things like that?
Yeah, so I dabble with it a little bit. Facebook and Instagram, it's getting challenging because of the industry. If you say the one wrong word, they ban you. So we do a little bit of that with clients as well. But I think, Ray, that the big thing that people have to understand is they still have to get, the content is still the most important thing. Likes are not important. Views are not important. Facebook verification, Instagram is not important. The most important thing is that content and showing people that you know who you are and you can deliver. Where I always tell people, we are a supplement to your brand. I'm like if you want to get big in the gym, I'm like your steroids to your brand. I can't help you lift weights though, and I can't help you do content. I can advise you, but you still got to be the one to create it. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes, Ray, we get so caught up in what's the best landing page? What's the best caption? What's the best one word? What's the best line to close this client? No. If I look at your page right now and it's not clear, all this stuff isn't going to help. Mm-hmm. So we really sometimes got to go back to that drawing board and go, hang on a second, have I asked 5 people what they think of the first initial impression of my brand and what I do? If that's not all clear, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the next big trend is going to be that people are going to pick up on, or maybe that you're starting to see emerge so far?
Well, the Clubhouse thing's taken off, isn't it? The listening into a conversation, like a live conversation that you can interact with. It's like a virtual conference, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really think there's so much play there. I never would have thought that would have taken off. If you told me this 2 years, I'm like, really? Is that really, a thing? So I think the idea of the Clubhouse is really powerful. Listening into conversations, having your own groups. I know it's going to get oversaturated. I know people are already, it's getting a bit messy. But what I do like about these brand new apps and things, it's given us a chance to connect faster, And I love the idea of like, you're just one, not even one person away. You can connect directly with these people. If you get their attention, right? If you have influence, they're gonna get back to you. I remember when I tried to get speaking engagements, getting the head of Coca-Cola marketing crew. You know how many gatekeepers you'd have to get through? Okay. Now you go on Clubhouse, you can hear them speak, reach out to them. They're going to be active. They're on their phone, right? Send them a DM, send them a video. They're going to be more likely to see it. You don't have to go through their whole staff anymore. So that's a really exciting thing for people like you and me, is the ability to connect with people pretty quick is exciting for me.
Yeah. And I've had some experience with that in doing, hosting rooms, and now a club, right? The Marketing Expedition Club. And it's really interesting to see people from all over the world join and share and talk and, share their perspective. And you're right. It's much more, accessible to then now reach people that you otherwise never would have been able to, or had thought to reach out to, or anything like that. In fact, I found somebody with the same first name as me. And my full name is Rayanna, but I just go by Ray. And her name is Rayanna, and she says it the same way. And who knew all this time that there was somebody with the same name, and she's in Florida and I'm in Idaho, So it's like, wow, there are other people out there that, just you would never thought that you would connect with. And it's so true. Give me an example. What's something that has helped for you, Jay?
With Clubhouse,
Yeah.
the ability to, it's like, you got to remember, I'm a speaker. It's like a conference for me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's given me instant authority, because pictures can be lied to, videos can be still lied to. People say they're 15-figure earners, and you never know. But you know, when you speak, a lot of people can feel whether you're coming real across a reel or not. And if your bio can match what you're talking about, it's just been a great way to connect with people. Yeah, I've made business off it. I made people on it. It's given, as I said, the chance for me to just connect, you know, because otherwise, where would I have connected with these kind of people? You'd have to be invited to a conference, invited to a small group of people, or a networking dinner or lunch, which I don't really feel like these people even go to these anymore. Like, you know, to sift through and get the attention, that's right, of these people to listen to you, for them to find out if you are the real deal. It's just given me the chance to speak. So, you know, and I haven't even used it properly as much as I should, because I have a business to run. It's like a relationship, as we're talking about, right? So, but for the times that I put on it, I see the value in it. And, you know, everybody listening right now, you've got to be out. People got to know you. You've got to be finding, like, get on these apps early if you can, because it does help. You get a little bit of the initial, you know, beta test kind of group. So
yeah, it's good. Okay, 2 more questions and then we'll wrap up. I know you've got another call coming up. So
yeah, so I'll push it. Yeah,
no worries. Okay, so what are some resources or tools that you use, or maybe podcasts you listen to, or just some resources that you can share that you love and you want to tell people about?
So online or offline or both?
No, any resources. Like what influences your brain?
That's a good question. What influences my brain? So how about I give people even some skill sets that they should get better at too? Because this is what, can I give that?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Everybody listening right now, once again, I know that I've been speaking for a long time. It will really help you immensely if you can learn how to communicate to people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like the power of video is so amazing. Like everything is this. Look what we're doing it on Zoom, right? So having the ability to, you know, and this is a tool. Get a smartphone and use it, practice it. You don't need a video crew anymore. You don't need a video camera. You've got to be in it to win it, you know? So you've got to be shooting. You've got to be testing your material. You've got to be getting people to see you, getting people to hear you, getting people to feel you, you know? So that skill set of speaking is still so lost. Public speaking is the number one fear in the world, number one fear. But it's the number one thing. Once you do and you get good at, you can do anything. Selling becomes easier because you can speak effectively.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love to be able to be on stages too. So I can't wait for the comeback to happen and, you know, be able to be on stage again.
And there's nothing more magical, Ray, of being in a group of people. Like it's a different, you know, especially because a lot of people go to a city as well. So it's a little holiday. You're out of your own bubble, you know. People like, finally, my husband's at home. I can just have my own time.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I love that. And being able to, it gives a whole energy when you can, you know, bounce off of the energy of the room of people asking questions and engaging with you. Absolutely. I can't wait for that to happen again.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay. Last question. What are some ways that people can reach out to you or follow you or, you know, all of the above? What's your Instagram?
Yeah. So look, guys, you know, if you're listening right now and you've resonated with something, and also if you're in a position where you're like, you know what, Jay, I'm struggling to get attention, or I would love a team in my corner to help me get my brand to the next level, right? I would love to have a conversation with you. It's a strategy call. Let's see if there's a good fit. If not, it's all good. So this is what I love you to do. Check out aosagency.co. So AOS, like Ace of Spades, agency.co. agency.co, like company, or at JJ Live, Instagram, JAYJAYLIVE.
Very cool. And no magic tricks, but you will get to see how you can get some attention to your brand. I love it. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Jay, your journey and all of the words of wisdom that you've given. I feel like people will definitely be able to have value from this and from what you do and all the things that you've done. So thank you very much. And any last words of wisdom or anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, sure, guys. Look, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you're about. You got to be telling people and sharing with people how you can help them. You got to be putting stuff out on the internet. That's it.
Right.
Start.
Being digital. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And for those of you listening, enjoy the journey and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Find more online at peppershock.com. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.